My name is Samantha Speed, and I will be your host during our Lounge 21 Musician panel. How are you guys feeling? Thank you for your patience with my Kat Von D voice. I have been, I'm an event manager here at Anime Expo. I've been working since Monday, and kind of threw out my voice, but it's okay. We're gonna get through this together, okay? And I have a cup of hot tea to get me through it. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our lovely musicians that will be joining us during this panel. Let's start off with None Like Joshua and DJ Ninja Effects. Please come to the stage. What a sleepy Sunday, guys. I think we have None Like Joshua and DJ Ninja Effects here. Give it up. There we go. We got 2 more claps for that one.
Is this a mic?
That is a mic. It's a soft top on the mic.
Yeah, I kind of want to rub my mouth on it, but I don't want to be weird.
All right, our next set of musicians come all the way from Chicago. Let's give it up for the Pillowcases. Yeah. And well, last but not least, we have our lovely lady rapper we had this weekend. She hails from San Francisco. Everyone, please give it up to Lex the Lexicon Artist. I don't bite. I know I booked you, but I'm not scary. All right, we're going to go ahead and I'll ask some questions and we'll get right through this. But all right, lovely panel musicians. Let's go ahead and start with Lex on the side. Lex, can you tell us a little bit of your origin story? How did you become Lex the Lexicon Artist?
A lot of people ask me this question, and I just get a lot of like, how did you decide to rap? Because obviously when you look at me, like rap is not the first thing that you think of. And I just like, I get that a lot, but the only answer that I really have is like, I just really like rap. And when I was 8 years old, I played violin. I was a classical musician for like most of my life. But then I started getting into like rap music when I was about maybe like 10 or 11. I think my first like kind of rap adjacent albums were like Meteora by Linkin Park and like The Eminem Show by Eminem, and I was like, I listened to a lot of just like really popular stuff that actually made it overseas to Taiwan. Like I'm from Taiwan, so I'm not very, very familiar with like the underground hip hop stuff, but like the Main Street stuff I started listening to a lot. And at some point I decided like, yeah, I can do this. I can try writing some songs. And I tried doing that when I was a teenager, but didn't really go anywhere because I wasn't planning on having it go anywhere. So I did the whole thing. I went through like, I went to high school, went to college, finished college, and then I left college and I started working at a job, and then I decided after doing that job that I actually wanted to, you know, be a professional rapper, for lack of a better word. And so I started writing songs for real and performing them in front of people. And like pretty soon that started snowballing into bigger opportunities. So that's why I'm here. And yeah, honestly, it really was like, okay, I'm gonna be a rapper now. Cool, great. And it worked. It was great. Thank you.
I basically grew up like stereotypically, and my parents like they forced me to play piano and all the instruments really. And then I didn't really listen to music at first, but when I was at school, my friends said, "Yo, have you listened to dubstep?" I'm like, it's like, "Here, check this out." Oh, that's pretty cool. So I'm like, I listened to like EDM, and then I found Monster Cat, and I found, there are these like small artists making music. I'm like, let me try that out, and I've been messing with it for like 6 years or so, and yeah, that's pretty good.
Can I ask how you met None Like Joshua? Because I know you guys have collabed on a couple of projects. Last year we just had None Like Joshua, but this year he's like, hey, bring in my producer homie, come through. I'm like, yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah, I actually listened. I found out about Josh because my cousin showed me about Ifixa, and if you know him, he remixed like dubstep remix of like Zelda song with Bosswood, and I found Josh through there, and I've been listening ever since. And then I found out he was going to Anime Week in Atlanta in 2016. I'm like, dude, I'm a big fan, and then we were like talking, and then I told him, yeah, I do music, like, you want to work on something? He's like, yeah, sure. And then he, what was the first one? Your Academia? Yeah, we worked on, I remixed You Say Run, and then sent it to him, and it became the Your Academia rap.
It was history ever since. Yeah, funny story actually, when Lex was talking about when I met Lex for the first time in San Francisco, she was like backstage at a show that I was playing at, and I was like, hi, who are you? Because like, yeah, I did not know she was a rapper. I didn't know that she was going to be opening up for us that night, and I was just like, so what do you do? Because she was just hanging out backstage. I had no idea what was going on. And she's like, oh, I'm a rapper. I'm like, oh, huh. All right, cool. And then when she got on stage, oh my gosh, she absolutely killed it. I was just like, oh my god, this is so sick. Like, you know, it's only every day you get to see like an Asian female rapper rapping so fast that you're just like, oh my god, that is so sick. It just blew my mind, completely blew my mind. And I was like, we have to work together. Like, that was just so sick. I thought that was so cool. So if you haven't heard it, we've done like a Mob Psycho rap together. It's pretty ill. And then with Ninja Effect too, he just came up to me at Anime Week in Atlanta and was just like, hey, I make music. And he was like, here's this beat I've been working on. I'm like, it's actually not that good. It's all right, but it's really not that good. So we started talking more, and like you know, what's oh, you can do this, you can do that, just helping each other out. And then it was like when he finally made the beat for the My Hero Academia remix, I was like, wow, dude, you have really come a long way. Holy crap. So it's just like, I always try to give people a chance that I meet, no matter how bad they are, because man, there's some really good like comeback stories that, you know, it happens for people. So he kind of just started that mold for me that like, you know, I'm not gonna like write off anybody that has potential, because, you know, everybody has the potential to learn, so they just gotta give them a chance. So sometimes I get people that want to work with me, they're absolutely terrible, but I'm not afraid to actually tell them that. So sometimes you just gotta tell people that, and if they take it to heart, then they're, you know, probably something's wrong with them. But if they, you know,
they're not willing to grow.
Exactly. If they're not willing to take that and say like, okay, well, let me know how can I be better? Because your music's really good, so how can I be as good as that? And they're like, okay, here's what you gotta do. Because I'm not afraid to tell anybody that. So, boom. Now, it's his first Anime Expo, everybody. First time Anime Expo. Dreams come true, all right? That's the moral of the story is dreams come true. Anyway, so yeah, and then the whole reason I got into music was kind of like by accident. I started off playing drums and getting into guitar and bass and piano and all that. And like I was like 9 years old, I just wanted to be like a huge musician renaissance man. And it was only until college that I was like really angsty and emo that I was writing like lyrics and stuff like that, poetry, and then eventually just taking whatever beats I could find on YouTube and, you know, just rapping, spitting over that. And it was only until someone was like, hey man, you should rap over dubstep. And I was like, sounds pretty cool actually, I'll try that. And then eventually I ran across the whole Zelda dubstep. You know, is anybody alive for 2012 and all that, 2011? Hands up? Yeah? Everybody remember that dubstep wave that was going on? Yeah, there we go. Exactly. So everybody started remixing all those video game themes into dubstep, and like I was just getting request after request because I had started rapping about Zelda on top of the Zelda dubstep remixes, and people were like, "What? This is so niche!" And then it just started kind of blowing up on YouTube there, and I had no idea that that was like a nerdy thing to do. To me, that was like not nerdy. I was just like, yo, Zelda is just freaking awesome. Like, why would that be like a nerdy thing? Like, who doesn't like Zelda? You don't have a soul if you don't like Zelda. Like, that's just obvious, you know? I thought that was like a normal thing to do. Like, why? Who wouldn't want to rap about Zelda? Why not? Like, I didn't understand that was like a niche thing to do. I was just like, I'm just rapping about what I like. Zelda's dope. So from there, it was just either, well, I guess you can look at it as either going uphill or going downhill, but like, I pretty much just started rapping about all my favorite stuff, all my favorite anime, and that was like 2011, 2012, and now I'm here. Hey! So yeah.
Nice. Second year we had done like Josh be here at the Lounge 21 stage. We still get this little mosh pit in front of him, just like singing his lyrics right back at him.
Yeah, I think I may have sprained my knee this time. this year. I don't know if the stage was a little higher than last year, but like I just straight up just jumped off during one of the songs.
A little bit taller than last year. I don't know who would do that.
I don't know why. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Maybe I was imagining like a thick crowd to like crowd surf on, and then just ended up just breaking my knee. So we'll see how it goes.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
The Pillowcases.
Hello. When I was a kid, like when I was growing up in like middle school, high school, like rock music was always like really important to me, and I'm like, man, I really want to be a rock star. So like me and Lucas, we were friends. We've been friends since we were like 5. We went in like me and our mutual friend Mike's house, and like we had some guitars that his dad owned, and they were just banging them. And I'm like, I want in. And like we just sat there in the room making complete noise, thinking that we were awesome. And eventually, slowly, we learned how to play our instruments. And so technically, I think we've been in bands on and off now for 23 years. So
Are you guys self-taught?
yeah, at least the guitar. Like we were in band class. Yeah. So like I played trumpet and he played the bass sax. And then at some point I went off to Japan. I came back and like I want to start a band. So we tried starting an original band, and we were playing this one show, and it's like, you know, hey, why don't we cover Ride on the Shooting Star? And we did it, and it felt awesome. And we played at the show, that went really well. And we said, you know, anime conventions, like people are going to want to see this there, so why don't we just do that? And so that's how the Pillowcases was born.
All 4 of you, have all of you seen Fooly Cooly?
Oh, of course. Oh, absolutely. It's one of our favorite. Oh, God.
I appreciate that.
I have not. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Fully Cool.
Do it.
I heard it's great, yeah.
Do it. Yes, watch it again. You have to watch it again. Absolutely.
Homework, Josh.
Okay.
Homework.
I've heard it's really good. A lot of people have recommended it to
You know,
me.
It's gonna be good on your first watch.
Oh, it's so good on the first watch. You just don't understand it. You don't understand why. Now, I went to college and I came back and I'm like, guys, you gotta listen to this music. You gotta watch the show, Fooly Cooly. And so I told them all about the Pillows. I've seen the Pillows a handful of times, and like, we're all just big fans, and so it was pretty obvious that like, this is a lot of fun. I'm not sure how Paul and Matt actually got into music.
I don't know. I just kind of wanted to play a guitar.
I was just in the band too, like the school band. I thought I'd just get in line. I wanted to do trumpet initially, but the line was too long. So there was nobody by the drum, and the teacher was standing there, and they're like, "Oh, can you do this?" And they would play something, and I'd play it back. And then a few times they did that, and she was like, "You'll be fine." And so I went home that day, and I told my parents, you know, yeah, I think I'm gonna play drums, which, you know, I'm sure that's not something most parents want to hear. But I just got into it. It was pretty easy to me, so I just kept doing it. And everybody begged me to play in their band, and I said no for many years, until eventually I couldn't say no anymore, so I started playing. It was just like, my music is just kind of like a banana peel, and I just went, whoop. Here I am, I'm playing music now, so yeah, that's it.
Everything happens.
So don't follow my example, unless you see some musical bananas laying around. Yeah, if you want to follow that musical rabbit hole, you know, follow the banana. That's my advice.
All right, rad. So we'll go in a little bit of like, just kind of the things that built up to get you guys booked to the stage, which actually leads me to like, I gotta give it to you, Stefan. I think I've been getting an email from you almost every year for the past 2 to 3 years of, hey, we're the Pillowcases, we're in Chicago, we want to come out and perform for an Expo. And I'm like, hey, duly noted, send in an application. If we have the budget, we'll make it work, type of deal. And so finally this year, we were able to make it work. Thank you for coming all the way out from cold, chilly Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, AX was like, of course, big on our list, and last year it really got to us when Maki, I forgot her last name, the president of IG USA, was like, hey, you guys are awesome. And because like she actually noticed our stuff because she was in charge of the FLCL2, FLCL3 new seasons. And so she had been talking to us, and I'm like, oh, you guys are doing a big thing at AX, can you talk to people there? And I think she like sent you a forwarded to you or something like that. And I was like, oh, these guys are great or something. So just started talking to people. I think I met her at C2E2 or something like that. And I was like messaging her, and I was like, oh, hey, have you heard of us? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, you guys are the only Pillows cover band out there, and your stuff keeps showing up on YouTube. You Google it. So yeah, no, it's that's basically how we've done cons. Like in a couple like cases, very rarely like people will message us, but usually it's just persistence of messaging people saying, hey, we want to play a convention. This is what we bring. This is what we are. We're a Fooly Pillows cover band, and if you know what that is, you know immediately like these are the people that are going to show up. These are the people that are going to enjoy it. And there's the audience, and just having it. What's on the tin.
All of your emails were always very professional, very polite, and just informative. This is who we are, this is what we do, and it just kept up year over year over year of booking, and it's great because that's sometimes what you need to do with the booking manager is just to keep it fresh and just be consistent, and that's honestly how you guys got to this stage. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your music with our crowd. Josh.
Now this guy.
I've had a lot of coffee, you can tell. Yeah, I guess one thing you really need to do is make good music. That's for sure.
I guess it helps to be a YouTube star too.
No, some numbers do help, I will agree. But it's also that you should, if you play any live show, whether it's a crowd or not a crowd at all, you should videotape it, always. Like just having some kind of footage of you playing live and with some good audio, not like some cheapo like cell phone or whatever, just actually like maybe a good camera and like some real good footage and some good audio. If you can have that just in your repertoire, and that will basically can get you anywhere. It doesn't even matter how much social media numbers you have, how many shows you've actually played before or after. Like if you just have some kind of footage of what you're like live, you can probably play anywhere you want to. Like that's really it. Most of the people I see booking for cons want to just see what you're like live, because sometimes they know even people with really big social media numbers have absolutely no like experience playing live shows, and then they get up here and they're like, yeah, what's up? It's really awkward. I have seen that happen. Even at South by Southwest, they brought out a bunch of nerdcore rappers from YouTube who had no idea what they were doing. And, yeah, and these are like YouTubers with like millions of subscribers. Millions. I'm talking really big ones who have never played live shows to save their life. So it's always a very big chance, but just because you think like, oh, it'll be really popular, but then like, there's absolutely no crowd interaction going on with them. So it's really, really awkward. So I would say if you want to be booked anywhere, just have at least just 1 or 2 live videos of you playing your music live. And then you can just say, hey, we'd like to play here. Be polite and formal, of course, when you're talking to anybody in business. And say, here's a little sample of our live show if you'd like to check that out. And most of the time, that's exactly what they're going to click on. They're not going to look at your Facebook or whatever. They're not going to want to go through like your history of playing live. They might not even read your bio because they don't really care about your life story. They just want to see what you're like live and how you sound and like what you do with the crowd and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it.
All of that, honestly. If you ever shoot out an email and you're a musician, you really need to tag in some sort of work, live music, EPK, and or just a recording. I mean, with DJ Ninja Effects, I imagine you send out probably a SoundCloud link to your account and whatnot to be able to share your music. But Lex, I'm not too sure if I got your EPK. I think I just got a YouTube link from you.
Oh, I submitted an application.
You did?
I never actually emailed anyone. I knew that AX, I've never emailed anyone. I knew that AX was calling for performers. I knew that you guys had a deadline. I put that deadline in my calendar maybe 2 months before. I made sure that I had all the proper materials. I made a Google Doc with all of the questions that the application was asking for, and I was like, EPK, this link. Live performance, this link. Short bio over here, less than 150 words. Great. Let's follow all the instructions. Let's make sure our information
follows all the instructions.
Let's make sure that your information is as concise as possible. I'm not disagreeing with Josh that that a bio may be less important than a live video, but I think it still is important to have all of the basics. You should have a short bio, it doesn't have to be very long. You should have some sort of branding, something that allows people to immediately understand in one sentence what you do. So for none like Joshua, anime rap. Very simple. For the Pillowcases, FLCL cover band. Very simple, right? It took a little bit longer for me to figure out what my single line was, but I think I've come up with rap music for the mind. That is my line. So that's a very easy kind of digestible sort of thing. So you want to have a basic brand. You do want to have some on the ground live show history. Obviously you want to have a performance video. Something that's really helped me is telling people where I've played in the past, talking about previous cons I've performed at so they know that you have some con experience. I can also talk about other more traditional shows that I've played, like going on tour with a certain artist in the past. And if that artist is well known, then people know that you have some social clout. Having some, how do you say it? Social proof. Yeah, there we go. That's the word. Social proof. People who can vouch for some achievements that you've done is always very helpful. And also just making sure that, what else did you guys ask for? Live video, EPK. And EPK basically contains all the things that people usually request. Videos, music, in a very immediate link. You want to have something that they can click on and immediately listen to your music. So a Spotify link. You click on the Spotify link, they can immediately hit something. You gotta remove as many barriers to entry as possible because these bookers do not have time for your shit. They do not have time. You need to do your job for them. They have so much stuff that they need to take care of that you need to make their job as simple as possible. They're clicking through hundreds and hundreds of applications every single day. The simpler you make their job, the more likely it is that you get booked. Doesn't guarantee it, because if you're shit, then you're not gonna get booked. But if you're good, you need to have this logistical things that stand out that allow it to be easier for people to access your music. So accessibility is the #1 priority for me when I'm looking for opportunities. And for the most part, I seek out opportunities, I send emails to people, or I submit applications, or I know someone and then I ask them if there's a performance thing. But sometimes people invite me too. So it really is a mixture of both. For me, I would recommend you, if you're thinking about performing at a con, make sure to constantly create opportunities for yourself in your everyday life. Tell people about your music. Don't spam them with it, please. But at the same time, seek out opportunities like Anime Expo or other different cons that are seeking musicians, and keep your ear out, keep your eyes and ears open for people who are calling for applications, because there is a need for performers. These people don't book people for nothing. You offer value. You deliver value by being on the stage. So what kind of value can you deliver? Tell the booker in a short email, and that should increase your chances.
Thank you. Yeah, to wrap that up, as we have Be Hungry, look for opportunities, record your live performances, have branding, have a logo, have things to be able to showcase to booking managers, meet people, and have those people introduce you to other booking managers that are within the community or opportunities. But remain hungry, answer your emails, complete the application to the fullest that you can. And a side note for me, negotiate. When there's interest, you have a lot of power and a lot of room to be able to negotiate within a budget. So if there is an interest from a booking manager, I will never knock down hustle. I am always open for negotiation, trying to meet halfway with musicians, because it's not easy. This is a life's work. This is art. This is it's a lot of investment, and thank you guys for that. So that will go with final words. Any future projects or anything, any plugs you guys have to share with our audience today?
I don't think I can say anything yet because we haven't signed anything, but look for us in a con far away from here. Not too far, still within the 48 of us, but we're going to be doing a con hopefully in January sometime. So that'll probably narrow it down. But
Are we allowed to promote competitors? Okay. Are we allowed to say that?
It's okay, I'm not gonna hurt you guys, it's cool.
But yeah, no, we're like, because we're a cover band, it's a little different than being like people who do original stuff. So really we're about performing, that's all we do. Like we don't go and re-record Pillow songs, we record playing them live. And so really we view our mission more as to bring the music, that music that everyone loves, to everybody at these anime conventions. So really our future plans are just playing as many conventions as possible, as many places as possible.
Cool.
Josh, what are you in the future?
If anyone, I guess since we're in California right now, if anyone's going to the Crunchyroll Expo, I'm going to be playing there every single night in San Jose. Should be pretty lit, actually. And yeah, and anybody like JoJo? You got one, two? I'm going to be doing some more JoJo music, so I'm very excited about that. I just released an Attack on Titan EP. If there's any AOT fans in the house. And we're going to be working on some more projects too. What are we working on? Pillar Men, Psychopaths, Blue Exorcist. Yeah, just tons of really good anime remixes and raps on that. And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I guess Crunchyroll Expo is the most relevant thing around here. What are you working on, Lex?
Look out for some stuff potentially coming out soon between me and Josh. We have some collaborations that have been in the works, so definitely look out for that. Subscribe to my channel, The Lexicon Artist, and subscribe to Unlike Joshua on YouTube. I have a new music video coming out tomorrow. I debuted the visual at the show yesterday, but it's a song about considering your feelings. It's inspired by Mob Psycho Season 2, so definitely go look at that. It's a really cool video and I really like it. I think it works really well for the song. So take a look at that. I am going on tour later this fall, mostly Eastern US. So if you're here from the Eastern US, look out for me coming to your town this fall. I'm doing like, I think 17 dates across like the Eastern, like the East Coast and also a little bit of the Midwest. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. And if you want to know when that's happening, you can either follow me on Instagram at LEX the Artist, that's LEXTAG Con Artist, or go to my website, take a business card from me, do whatever you can to keep in touch, and I will hopefully see you this fall if you're in the Eastern US. That's it.
Thank you. Everybody give it up. Thank you so much for sharing your music with us this weekend. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Anime Expo. Please have a lovely rest of your day.
Y'all give it up for Sammy for putting all this Lounge 21 together. Give it up for Sammy, y'all.